Prego team, we extend a warm welcome to our good friends of the same fraternity, the food industry, Mr. Venkateshwara Reddy and of course Chef Bala. Both of you are excellent people in your own walks of life, and you have been an example and I would say the stalwarts of the industry. Today, in fact, we have got there's a very important reason that you both are here now, because the need of the hour is Corona, and how we are going to all come together and be together and understand the whole phenomena and then take it forward together. One thing which I could understand here is the humanity plays a very, very important role. And you people, yesterday I was discussing with both of you, it was fantastic because your approach towards bringing people together, make them understand the importance of this and how to live with this situation. And how, not only to live in the situation, how to perform in the situation. That's going to be a great message for all of the people in the food industry fraternity. I take this wonderful opportunity to invite both of you, extend a warm welcome to both of you in this occasion. S.M. Balaji, who has taken a lot of initiative in organizing the series of knowledge series lectures in different walks of life. This has been from broadcast to various industry circles. So people from all over the world are going to be present here. And not only that, the situation that is the grassroots level, people are going to so this is a great occasion. So because it is not only reaching the big hotels or something, but as Mr. Venkatesh sir was telling us, it has to go to the grassroots level. There are so many small restaurants and cafes who are all in this fraternity who may be drastically affected because of this. Post lockdown is going to be a great effort, which we all have to come together. And this discussion is going to be a great opportunity for those not only in the five-star hotels, but also in different food industry sectors. So on behalf of the Prego team, I extend a warm welcome to you. And I request the formal introduction of the guest to be done. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And may I request Mr. Shanmugam from Prego team to kindly introduce Chef Balamurugan. Shanmugam.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Shanmugam from Prego. We introduce our honorable chief guest, Chef Balamurugan. He is a culinary architect and food business consultant. He runs a firm called Culinarchs. He is the food and hospitality industry past 24 years and a proud member of IFCA, SICA, WACS, SIP and Dr. MGR University. He holding designations Culinary Architect Director in Culinarchs, Bakery Consultant Director in BRED, Assistant Professor in Dr. MGR University. His life ultimatum is wish to design and work for 1,000 kitchens. Thanks to Prego giving this opportunity.
Good, Shanmugam. Thank you. And we have a very good friend with us, Mr. Divakar from Venus Kitchen Equipments, who are veterans in kitchen equipment industry. We request Mr. Divakar to kindly introduce Mr. Venkateshwara Reddy. Divakar.
Yes, sorry to disturb. Balaji sir, recording can be started.
Yeah.
Hi everyone.
Yes, Divakar.
I'm Divakar here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Divakar. Hi.
Yeah, how are you, sir? Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good.
So, Venus Consultant Egmore, they have started in the year 1990. They are in the service providing for project planning and designing, project coordinator service, pre-opening and operational planning, management and turnkey. Over to Mr. Venkateshwara Reddy, sir.
Yeah, Chef Balamurugan can take up the first session. Thank you, Divakar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I hope we are live and there has been participants participating throughout India and outside India. So today's topic we are discussing on mid-sector business, its challenges and solutions as on condition. As on condition in the sense we are in the lockdown and we are in the verge of opening the lockdown, or going to be a situation more like a lockdown. There is, I think we are going to live with it for a while. We are not going to talk about coronavirus. We are not here to talk about COVID-19 and things like that. And there has been a lot of Zoom conference going on with hygiene and practices and things like that. So let's not waste time and let's proceed directly into the discussion. Along with me, Mr. Venki Reddy sir is there, and Mr. Balaji is there as a moderator. And as a food business consultant, I'm here to declare my points. And before declaring my points, I would like to make it very clear that it is just the best case scenario that we are discussing here. And with the positive note, we want to bring in the best attitudes and best practice that can bring the food business for the betterment in the near future. And we are also having multiple business sector from in the mid segment itself. Let's say below 75 lakhs of investment business is developed. Let us call it a mid sector business. And there are restaurants, cafes, bakery manufacturing units, sweet manufacturing units, namkeen units, and lot more, maybe industrial and catering divisions and things like that, institution. So let me put forth a few things before we start. There are different types of audience and they have their own challenges. In general, I think we are going to talk about the general challenges and the solution for the general situation. In particular, every individuals may have their own tailored requirement and things like that, which they can just project it in the questionnaire and we can try to answer it. And some challenges are there like the form of rent and things like that, which need to be discussed only with the owners, which we can't provide solutions as of now. So let us take it forward. So the point first, number one, we are going to be on the verge of opening. So we have to do a trial run of whatever the gadgets, equipments, and the kitchens we have as of now before opening, so that they are all in working conditions for the operations. And we need to keep our kitchen hygienically clean and clear for the staffs to work and food produce to get prepared in the premise. So hygiene factor, let us keep it aside. We can discuss as we need. And let us straight away jump into the topic, the challenges. So we'll have a lot of challenges, especially to survive the situation. To survive the situation, the best case scenario is like try to concise your business, whatever the business it is. Try to concise your business, clear out the dark spots, clear out the unnecessary wingspan or the bandwidth of your business, so that you are more comfortable with your shoulder strength, because investment goes in month on month, overheads goes in month on month. So you need to be very clear with your overheads. Number of staffs, you have a bigger team of staffs. Number of cuisines, you might have different categories of products and things like that. Try to concise that into minimal best case requirement. Even the menu, you try to concise that, because only mostly 10, 20% or 30% of your menu might be fast moving. Try to prioritize that, and those things which are not moving or least in movement, that is giving you least profit, try to ignore that and try to push your premium products into the business. Same way, your overheads, there will be unnecessary overheads that try to avoid that. And staffing, when it comes to staffing, try to choose the best staff possible, the best team possible. And the categories of your business, say for example, you're running a small scale multi-cuisine restaurants, which is having an Indian, tandoor, South Indian and North Indian or continental or whatever cuisines as separate kitchens and entirety inside the kitchen. Try to concise that into one or two cuisines, so that you're more comfortable with a smaller team and a smaller business that is going to come. Now, once the thing is opened, we are not going to get the 100% or 200% business right away, but So that is not a problem. So try to concise your cuisines, concise your production area, concise your service area, if required, and if it is a must. Next, during this situation, we need to have a constant touch with your clients, with your vendors, with your staff, and with your business people in the network, because it is very important. Staffs, we cannot just like that open the restaurant and start running, or open the kitchen or production unit and start running it. First, we need to be ensured that our chain is in place. There is a process that we have been following, starting from placing the order, receiving the raw material, sorting, segregating it, and making it to a produce and selling it. The whole chain should revolve in a smooth manner. For that, we need to make sure that all our vendors are in place and they are ready to give their products to us once the situation is resolving. That is very important. We cannot simply go about and call the vendor tomorrow and start telling him, bring my product. Maybe they haven't opened, or they have not having their products as on date. So we need to be very sure that everybody is in place. Even the staff, they are very, very important. We cannot simply send staff or bring staff as and when required. Every staffs are scattered as of now, and they are the backbone of the business. So we need to be very sure that we stay in touch. We need to make sure that they are in good health, they are ready to come back, or you take more interviews, you set your staffs ready for your operations. So be ready with your staff, be ready with your vendors. Next is your clients. Keep a constant touch, maybe in the form of message or general call of your clients, so that they are aware that you are going to open your doors for the business in a short while, or you have already opened it for the short while, or in a short while, or something like that. And then why to keep a constant touch with the fellow businessmen, the same category. If you're running a restaurant, you can tie up with a bakery unit or another restaurant chain, because there will be exchange of goods and raw material that might be in place. Say, for example, you're running restaurants, a continental restaurant, which might need breads or a dessert or something from another bakery nearby, or from whom you're already getting it. Same way, try to give your product to another business. Say, for example, there is a kiosk and they are doing a wrap in a place, and you're running a restaurant. You can obviously cater them. You can give them fillings. You can create your own B2B profile, and portfolio, so that you can cater to another business. It is not only going to be B2C from now on. I think it is wise that you expand your wing and you try to cater to another business, so that it is more easier. He has 10 clients, all those 10 clients, your clients, because you're going to give a product that is going to reach all those 10 clients. Even a bakery unit, if they're making brownies and trying to sell only in their outlet, they can only sell the number of brownies in their outlet. But when they're giving it to a restaurants or a chain of restaurants and things like that, they can reach more clients. So try to go B2B. B2B is very important. Same. Next way is reaching the home deliveries. I think from now on, people are very serious about reaching to their doorstep, or contactless deliveries and takeaways will be profound down the line, or at least for a set period of time in the coming months to go. And of course, the aggregators are charging a big amount for not a chain of restaurants or a smaller business. So try to negotiate with the aggregators, or create your own delivery system. Even the delivery system, your own delivery system makes a big noise in the city and your surrounding, because you're going to put a logo, your brand, your bike, your box, and you're going to create a delivery system. The delivery guy is going to move to and fro in a particular day, and the whole city and the street are going to see him. So he's going to give you a better business down the line. So having your own delivery system is something nice that you should follow. Next thing is that one thing I think we should be very clear. Though we say we are in the same storm, everybody is having the same storm, but the size of the ships are different. We are in the different ships. Some business are well set, some business are not well set, some are new, some are very young, some are small, some are big, some has been there for a set period of time, and things like that. So we should know our own shoulder strength, and we should know our pros and cons, our weaknesses. and never try to sail ship that is sinking. Honestly, because we can be confident, nothing wrong, but we should not be overconfident. When a ship is sailing and you know that it is sinking, you cannot afford to sail further and drown yourself. So make sure that your business is well fit for the down the line growth, and well fit for the taking it forward down the line. We cannot afford the business to drown and then try to sell and things like that. Try to make sure that you work against all the systems in place. Try to have a clear-cut view on your mathematics. You should know your past business mathematics, accounts, and you should forecast your future. Say, for example, the best way to go about is keep a 10% profit and do a reverse engineering calculation for your business. You know your overheads, starting from your salary, starting from your rent and everything in the past, or you can even go about starting a new business. You should keep a 10% minimum profit and do a reverse engineering calculation. Let us assume you're looking for 1 lakh rupees profit. Obviously, you need to do 10 lakh rupees sales for the month. At the same way, if your rent is about 50,000 rupees a month for a business, in generic, let us talk about a generic pastry shop or a bakery shop or a small cafe outlet. They should easily do 5 lakh rupees sales per month or above for a break even, or just to reach the profit margin. Because when we have a general segregation, it goes like this: 10% goes to the rent, and 20% to 25% goes to the salary, and 30 to 40% to 45% goes to the raw material cost or food cost. And there are things like energy, gas, charcoal, your cleaning, stationery, and things like that. And all put together, at least you should have a 10% profit. Otherwise, no point in running the business. So you should know your profit, and you should do a reverse engineering calculation, and you should make sure that your overheads are fitting into these criteria, so that it is more easily viable. You understand the whole spectrum of business, and you don't do mistakes anywhere. There is a lot of accounts and things like that that we will discuss down the line. And you should be very crisp with whatever the product you have dealt with in the past. You analyze your past sales reports. You see what all the fast moving things that you are having in your system or in your record. Try to create more related product. Try to push in more related product to that, so that you make a better sales in the future. Try to avoid the least selling products, so that you don't keep your staff burdened or your whole business burdened. And so far I've just discussed somewhere about 10-15 points, and we will discuss some down the line. And I would like to transfer to Venki sir, and I would like to have his view. And from Balaji sir, any questions from the crowd, and I think we can go about answering now and then.
Yeah, thank you, Chef. And what we were thinking is we could have both the questions and answer sessions together once Mr. Reddy is also completed his talk. We could have it together. Of course, there are quite a lot of queries which is popping up in the chat box, as well as people are coming forward with some questions. So we'll finish off with Mr. Reddy, and then we'll have some questions also raised up, some discussions, open discussions. Yeah, over to Mr. Reddy.
Thank you, guys. So thanks all of you all for giving me this opportunity. The very first thing before I start, I would like to say we are entering the most exciting phase of food business all over the world. Whatever has happened so far is probably going to be vintage. We are now going to look at something which are really different and really super good. Why I'm saying super good? I know a lot of people are still hesitant when I tell something like that, because I was the only person probably who was against restaurant businesses. When people come to me, clients come to me, I used to discourage them in starting a restaurant. Having said that, today I am being positive, because I know that a lot of small, medium and large companies have shut down. So that means all of us are going to restart from the very beginning. So let's just assume that we are now going in from a phase of steam engines to bullet trains. So you can imagine the leap that we are going to take. We are in steam age technology. We are now going to look at bullet train. So it's going to be new for almost all of us. Whether it's a consultant, whether it's a big chain, whether it's a small chain, fine. We are all going to face a lot of new challenges which will keep popping up at different stages, and we need to address this. Understanding this is the first thing. Yes, we can do it. A lot of people whom I've been talking to have always wondering, and they're very negative. They are very scared. Let us first take the fear out of our systems. We all started business at some point of time with the assumption that we will do well. Each and every one of us, each and every hotel owner has started with one restaurant and now they have grown. So why not think that we are redoing everything from the start? But we are going to redo from the start with knowledge of what we had failed in. So that knowledge is going to help us in not doing the same things again. So now we have a clean paper, we have knowledge, and now we are going to use this clean paper to do something really good. Having said this, let us look at what we need to do at the small and very small sector of people. These are the people who are probably going to be affected the most. And these are the people whom I want to hold hands and tell them that, yes, we can do a lot of things. The first thing I would tell all the small and medium hotel owners and entrepreneurs, don't get scared. You have an opportunity which a lot of others may not have. I understand that financially you all are all in big trouble. I understand that you all are scared. I understand that the fear of what next is there. So let us not talk about the fears. Let us talk about how we can open this place. Now, I'm assuming that the small vendors and medium vendors, they are going to have a tough time, first in having labor, second in material. And of course, money is always going to be a problem. Now, this is the time when the government, or we should start looking at other sources and resources which can keep us alive. So I'm talking about survival. I'm not talking about profits. I'm talking about how to survive first. Now, how to survive first means we need to start our business. Now, to start our business, when we started the first restaurant, we did a lot of planning. We were probably a lot of us were very positive and said, yes, this will do. So now let's go back to that. Let's be very positive and say, yes, we can do it. To reopen, it is like starting a new venture all over again. The first thing we probably do is look at the space. Yes, we already have the space now. The rentals are there. So renegotiate your rentals as the first priority, because rentals are probably going to be the biggest factor which is going to change the way you're going to do business. If you are in a very costly place, now is the time to talk to your landlord and ask them whether they can reduce, whether you can renegotiate, see what can be done. Because this is one big chunk of money going away from you every month. We can't stop that. The next big chunk of money which is going is your labor. That also we cannot stop. But we can renegotiate, we can realign ourselves, we can start looking at what can be done. So now is the time when small, medium people should start negotiating with their landlords, which should not negotiating with their staff, making them understand that all is a crisis period and it will pass. So how you negotiate depends on how well you know your landlords. This is very important. The next thing is, now we need to look at, before we open any restaurant, my first thing is, what is the menu? So re-engineering the menu will be the next most important criteria. When I say re-engineering your menu, I mean the number of days you have done business is already known to each of you all. Some of you all have just started. Some of you all are probably a couple of years old. Some of you all are there for decades. But all of you all have never, ever probably looked at accounts and management systems very carefully. Some of you definitely would have, but most of us don't. We assume that it's an assumption that we are making so much profit. And we do a post-mortem at the end of the month, and we do a P&L analysis, and then we say, I made so much profit. Some of them don't even do that. They just carry forward. Now is the time when every single business owner has to start reanalyzing his account and audit his account and understand where he made his money and where he's going to lose his money. Making money is there, but where you're losing is the priority now. This is the area where you need to start focusing your time on. I know, like what Bala said, you need to understand your menus. My simple thumb rule is the top 10, 20 selling items are what is probably keeping your business going. If you have data, please go back to your data, start checking on the top 20 best selling items and analyze each item to their recipe cost. Understand how much it costs for making one of those dishes and how much are you selling it at and what is the profit percentage that you're getting from that particular dish. Only 20 items you need to check. Probably these 20 items are the ones which are probably keeping your business running well. A lot of my owners have done this. I have proven to them that what they assume and what the reality is totally different. This is something which I have been teaching for the last 35 years, and I'm very confident that if you analyze this, you may not even want to sell that item because you're losing money. So first, analyze your profit ratio which you're getting out of the menu that you have sold. Every sale must get you money now. Every sale should have a relevance to profit from now on. Otherwise, we are in trouble. Having said this, there are new things that can be done. A lot of people maybe have not been taught or have not been told the importance of recipe costing. Now, when I say recipe costing, whether it is in manufacturing or whether it is in food business or whether it is in any business, the basic material cost required to make that particular item needs to be understood. If it is in the industry of, let us say, kitchen manufacturing industry, they need to understand what is the raw material used, how much of raw material used, how much of it is wasted, and then put a cost factor to the material which has been used, then add the labor, then add overheads, and then probably create the profit. It's the same in any business. Even in food business, we have the same thing. First, you need to understand how much it costs you to make that particular dish. If it is an idli, it's not only idli, it is the cost of sambar, it's cost of chutney, it's the cost of other things, it's cost of every raw material that you're going to use. If you get that right, then you're going to get your profit ratio right. If that is on the assumption that you've taken a menu card from some other restaurant or hotel around you and assume that he's selling an item at X amount and you added X or minus X and said, this is the rate I'm fixing. If somebody has said idli is 40 rupees and you have said, I'm going to sell idli at 35 rupees, so people will come to me, you are going wrong there itself. Because his overhead cost will be different, your overhead cost will be different. So that is where the problem starts. An idli in a 5-star hotel might be 100 rupees. And in that, he is probably making only 2% or 1% profit. Idli in a very small shop would be 40 rupees and he would probably making 30% profit or 20% profit because his overhead cost is not as high as a 5-star hotel. Understanding this is what is very important today. A lot of people have not gone there. A lot of people have not even understood this. Now is the time when each of you all start analyzing your sale product, understanding how much profit you are going to make in that particular item. Now, having said about recipe costing, I have to go to the next thing, which is called data management. A lot of us have data, but we have never analyzed it. Every one of us have data. How much of it is being analyzed is very important today. A small enterprises really does not need a big team to analyze this data. Every day you can sit, you can do it yourself. It's your business. So it's the time that you start understanding what you have earned and what you have spent and how much you have spent. Even a small Excel sheet will be enough for you to do this. You don't need a big management software to do this. Put an Excel sheet, put your items on one side, put the dates on the other side, and tell how much you're spending for that particular thing. Categorize your items so that it's very easy for you to understand. And an Excel sheet is good enough. Excel sheets are fantastic. They'll give you the results which probably very big softwares are going to do the same. So data analytics are going to be the next important thing for small businesses. A lot of people today understand computers. A lot of people are scared of computers. So those who are scared of computers, please get somebody to do this for you. This is very important. If you do not understand what is the percentage of oil being consumed in a day, what is the percentage of oil being purchased in a day, you will not correlate, you will not understand your business. Having said this, it might be a little confusing for people who have not done this already. So we will discuss about this at the end of this topic. I will come to this again, probably when the question and answers are being done. The more you analyze, the more you're going to realize where you have lost, where you are gaining. The more you understand where you're losing, that is where you need to spend more time. Where you're gaining, don't worry. That's already making money, so don't spend your time on that. You need to spend more time on where you are losing money. You need to focus on what you are losing so that you can cut it down. Sometimes you may not be able to bring it down to zero, but you can bring it down to a great extent by understanding this. And next important thing is advertisement is going to play a very big role from now on. A lot of us have not spent money on advertising. It does not mean you need to spend big money on advertising. You have a lot of channels like YouTube. You have a lot of channels Facebook. You have a lot of channels of Instagram where you guys can go on and start spending time advertising what you're doing. Start making people like yourself and then keep going. Why do you need to spend, when you don't have the money, why do you want to spend money on big advertising? You can think of innovative ways of advertising, which will probably help you and get your business to the areas and public that need to look at you. It's very difficult to do big things now. It is very easy to do small things now. The small things will definitely lead to the big things over a period of time. And when I say small things, it's even a small combo which can be done from the recipes that you already have will be enough to probably change your kind of business. Even a small innovation like saying, I'm going to give a takeaway in a stainless steel box which can be returned, for which you can fix a price, is going to be enough for you to save on your takeaway raw material. Small things, think small. These are things which will probably going to help you and your customer too. If your box is going to cost you 4 rupees, why don't you buy a stainless steel box and say this is returnable and keep a deposit? So you are not spoiling the environment. You are using stainless steel boxes to come back to you, which can be sterilized and again given back. Very simple. Dabba wala of Bombay's work. So why can't it work for you? Of course, the dabba walas of Bombay are food taken from their house. Now, why don't we make our food as like that of a dabba wala? Make a tiffin carrier which can be sent to them and again returned, clean it. So your cost is only cleaning. So you need to understand that things can be done if we look at business in a different way. When we say business, we need to also understand now we need to look at business in a different way altogether. When we say, like what Bala said, B2B business, now we need to be understanding that B2B business is possible, but you also need to understand the safety factor that is required to be built into this particular form of business, because it could be very dangerous if we have a person having corona in that business center delivering food for you. So that means you are going to also be transmitted with that disease. So now is the time when we take very cautious steps and understand that this problem that we are facing worldwide can be transported in any form. So understanding how this virus works is very important. How does it work? It has a span life of around 24 to 72 hours on certain surfaces. It cannot fly. It is only transported by human beings from one human to another human. Through hand, through touch, through sneeze, yes. So if you can understand this and get it cleaned, if you can clean everything that comes into your premises, you are safe. If you wash your hands regularly, you're safe. But to make your staff understanding this, you need to have a small training program on a daily basis. Today, shaking hands is not possible, but I know how difficult it is to make a person say namaste, because I know I do this on a regular basis. Making a person fold his hands and say namaste takes me 3 months. I don't know how long it's going to take you and your team to understand that a namaste is more important than a handshake. So when I say namaste is so difficult, now trying to make people understand that they have to wash hands and have to wear gloves is going to be a very Herculean task for each and every one of us. But this task has to be accomplished. If not, our businesses are going to be affected. So understanding the virus and understanding that it is not impossible, it's very easy to beat it, is very important. When we say social distancing, we are saying do not touch another person, do not touch something that he has already touched. So if that is understood, then it's very easy to handle this virus. The simplest form, 1 is quarantining, 2 is washing all surfaces that come in contact, 3 is using better technology like ultraviolet and other things which can be used. These are things which can be done, and if these are done, we beat the virus. So virus is not going to affect us. Now, when we talk about business and when we talk about the viruses, we also have to take one more standard. We already have FSSAI in place. We also have HACCP in place. Now is the time that each of you all download these and read them and understand what it is and see how much of it can be implemented. I know it is difficult to implement everything that HACCP has told us, but we can implement most of it. It is only a mindset. A lot of us think that we cannot do. This is meant for foreign. Why should we do it in India? How is it possible to do with Indian food? Yes, it is possible. We are already doing that in some of the projects I am doing. Almost all the projects that I have done, we have tried to keep a HACCP standard. Food safety standards are maintained. If they can do it, even a small restaurant is doing, even a good star hotel is doing, if they can do it, I'm sure all of us can do it. It is not so difficult. You just need to have a proper training and a proper audit. When I talk about audit, I say that you need to have an external audit if possible, because when you do an internal audit, you tend to oversee things which are already going wrong. A lot of us don't see things which are negative or happening because we see that every day, so it's not visible to us. So we need an external audit to do a food safety. Once we have an audit in place and once you have a training in place, trust me, it's going to help you in the long run. It might be a little expensive initially, but that is what is going to change you. That is what is probably going to make your business survive. Today, we need to survive. Talk about profits much later on. Survival is more important. Today, we are all about to drown. So swimming or learning to hold on to something and come out is more important. Once we come out, then we can thrive. Business is going to be there. Don't even think that we're not going to get business. Probably we are going to be the first people to bounce back. Why I'm saying we are going to be the first people to bounce back is because we are the only people who are going to provide food for the whole world. We are the organizations which are going to get food out there for the people. A lot of people are going to require food because they're all staying away and they're doing businesses. How many of us can really eat from the house? For how long? I think this few days have made us understand how difficult it is to sit in the house and do nothing, not get incomes and do. So people are going to travel, people are going to do business, people are going to be out there and they need safe food. And safe food can be provided by all of us if we understand how safety has to be implemented. Having said this, I also need to go into understanding the safety factors of kitchen. The hygiene factors that need to be brought into kitchens are very important. I know a lot of you all do not look at a kitchen hygiene as an importance. Today is the time when we need to understand that kitchens are the source where the food is going to be made. If your kitchen is dirty, today is the time when you need to take stock and start cleaning up. Don't have clutter. A lot of people have clutter. A lot of people have equipment which is not used. Get rid of all of them. Take them, throw them out. If you don't need a table, don't keep a table. You use what is minimum. The more minimalistic your kitchen is, the less likely that you're not going to have problems. Because every surface needs to be cleaned on a daily basis. It is very difficult for you to check on what needs to be done. Please create a list of equipment and a cleaning schedule and stick it on every equipment so that you understand this equipment has been cleaned and this time it has been cleaned. So these are things which you need to follow from now on. Your training for your cooks need to be understood that they cannot chop things and throw it on the floor. They need to use a dustbin. They cannot make the kitchen dirty. They have to clean it. And this is going to be not a requirement, but a compulsion. It is a compulsion from today onwards. So if the hotel owners are willing to take up this compulsion, they will definitely have a cleaner kitchen and a better kitchen where you are going to be safe. The next thing I want to talk about is staff. Now, staff, a lot of people think will be a problem, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because a lot of people are going to downsize. And when you start downsizing, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to look for jobs. Now, this is an area which is very close to my heart because all these years I've been trying to make people get jobs. I started my business not for doing profits, but I started my business to make sure that at least 500 new jobs can be created in a year. Now, when I say 500 new jobs, unless you have a new restaurant or a new hotel, you can't create 500 new jobs. Now, when we are trying to look at creating jobs, now it's very difficult for me to say, you're going to cut staff. This is where I have a problem. This is where a lot of hotel owners now need to understand, can you talk to your staff now? Can you talk to them and make them understand that we are going to cut salaries? How you're going to cut salaries should be a factor that you need to decide. I can't help you in this. I can only suggest to you a few points. The point number one is, when people are above a salary structure, let us assume, this I'm just assuming, let us say that anyone above 15,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees of salary, whoever is above this, they are quite safe. It is the people below this 10-15,000 rupees salary that they're going to have a problem. Because if you cut their salary by 50%, let us say you put a blanket saying I'm going to cut 50% salary for everybody. Now, if you cut a salary of 50% for a guy who's making 6,000 or 7,000, he's going to get 3,000. It's not enough for him to survive. Instead, if you say, I'm going to give you 15 days work and I'm going to give you a break of 15 days, you can again come back after 15 days. That means your staff salary has come down to 50%. Your workforce also has come down to 50%. But you are assuring him that he gets at least 50% salary and he will look out for something else to do in the next few days so that he will be able to manage. Now, a lot of compassion and humanity is required here. I know all of us are tight strapped for money. I know that we have problems. So I also know that a lot of staff are scared what is going to happen. If they lose a job, it's going to be very difficult for them to find a job. Reallocate them. See whether you can use them for deliveries. See whether you can use them for other multi-skill jobs that you can do. See whether you can, make use of them in other areas, which will probably help you. Cutting salaries, yes, needs to be done. How you're going to cut salary, create a formula for yourself, make sure you understand what can be done and what cannot be done, and give the option to the staff. Let them take a decision. When they take a decision, they're going to be part of your team. When you are going to take a decision, you're going to hurt a lot of people. Let this be one single unit. Let all of you all be in it together. Make sure you talk to your staff. Make sure you motivate them. Make sure you tell them that this is the crisis and ask them for suggestions. I have become a very good consultant because I listen to even my dishwasher. There are times when my dishwasher has given me better ideas than the MBAs who used to work with me. Understanding a human being is more important now. Being a human being is more important now. So let us hold hands and help every single person that we can touch. Having talked about staff, I want to go to the next thing. You need to talk about wastage. I always used to tell, you can understand how much is being wasted by the number of cans that are being thrown out into the garbage. Trust me, it used to be huge. I have spent a lot of time in this waste management and I have made people understand how they can save money by not throwing things. You can do a lot of things with what is already there. Do not throw things. Make your staff aware that every single bit can be used. If you're making a sandwich and cutting the edges, make sure the edges can be made into some product. It is possible. You can make a bread custard. So every single product can be used without throwing, if you can understand. How to use it is again a thing which each and every one of us have to work on. I just said sandwich because it's very easy for you to understand sandwiches. All of us cut the edges of a bread, throw it off. Now, can we not make a bread sandwich, a bread custard with it? Yes, we can. But are we? No. But from now on, yes, we have to do this. Because that is going to sell, that is going to give you money. It's not going to go into a garbage can. So if you can scrutinize and see what can be redone with what is there, I'm sure a lot of things can be done. It's all the small things that's going to give you money now. It's not the big thing that's going to give you money now. Because we are in crisis mode. It's every single rupee that you earn is going to save you. Understand this and look at your menu. Look at wastage. Look at products that are being made. Do not make products which do not sell. Do not do things which on assumption. Please start using your data. Please understand that data is more important now. Analyzing your data is more important. And taking action immediately. A lot of people look at data and just don't take action. Taking action is very important. There is no point in having data if you're not going to take action. So take action. Be bold. Sometimes you will think that this is wrong, but your data says that that is wrong. So data will never lie to you. Data is like the truth. It can never tell lies. So once you understand your data, taking it forward is very easy. And then I'm going to talk about one last thing. It's about accounts. the most neglected department in small owners and the medium-sized owners. A lot of owners do not look at accounts as a priority. They assume that they made money. They assume that they made so much profit. This is where a lot of businesses are having problems and will have problems from now on. Please look at your accounts and data on a daily basis. I'm not saying looking at how much you spent and how much you made. That's fantastic. Now it is about looking at how much you spent on what. Is it really required to spend that money on that or not? That is what I'm talking about accounts, not the sheet of paper that you see every day, which says, so much is my expenditure, so much is my income, so this is my profit. No. So much is my expenditure and product A, product B, product C. Categorize your products and understand. If you have bought milk, every day you're buying 30 liters of milk, 100 liters of milk. Why are you buying 30 liters, 100 liters on days when you're not going to do business? Our business is not a constant. We don't have the same kind of business on a Saturday and a same kind of business on a Tuesday. So why are you doing the same thing every day? Why don't you analyze that you're going to not have so much of sale of some product on certain particular days? Looking at that is more important today. If you can understand that I'm not going to sell 200 copies on a Tuesday, I'm going to sell 500 copies on a Sunday, revamp your product. Make sure you buy only that requirement. Otherwise, your product is being misused. Understanding that your product is being misused is also understanding that you are wasting money. Very important. Start looking at it. And last of all, I would always say, be positive. Teach your staff to be positive. I know they are going to be stressed. Making them feel positive is very important at this time. How scared you are, the staff is maybe double scared because you are an owner, they feel that you will survive. But the staff who depends on you, if you are going to be scared, they're going to be more scared. If you are going to show them that, no, I am a leader, I will take care of you, don't worry, they're going to be also on the same basis. It is the leaders who are going to make the team behind them strong or weak. Are you strong or are you weak is the question right now. If you are strong, motivate your team to be strong, and I'm sure you'll come out of this crisis. We'll take questions a little later. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Reddy. Yeah, Chef Bala. Yeah. Can we go into the question answers?
Yeah. Question answer. Someone has asked a question on hygiene rating.
Yeah, can I have Pritika? Pritika has asked a question. You can unmute the mic, Pritika?
I think asked about.
Yeah, since it's in the chat box, you can answer it. It's for Chef Bala. Chef Bala, you can answer that question.
Okay, fine. So basically, they've asked about how should we take the hygiene rating on the next level. I personally said, actually, we should be proud of showing our production units and kitchen to the public from now on. In fact, we need to promote our business by showcasing our back end and service areas. So that people are very confident that they are taking food or a product from a very hygienic kitchen. Like many countries, this hygiene rating is very well maintained, and we have just launched the hygiene rating concept in India last year, which is yet to come into practice, which haven't started yet. For that, even the government has to be well prepared, and it has to be done without any bias. When a restaurant is projected with a better hygiene rating, obviously people will be more confident in going in and procuring products and things like that, or getting a product from that business, whether it may be a B2C or a B2B. Even another business person will be more confident. As Venki sir said, we cannot depend on somebody else's business and practices when it comes to infections and all these virus situations and things like that. So I think every kitchen and restaurant should take pride in maintaining their kitchen and hygiene. When we talk about hygiene, there are three sectors. One is the personal hygiene, where the staff should maintain. Another one is the environmental hygiene, which the kitchen should be showcased, and the food hygiene, where we should be very confident in our food hygiene without any cross contamination. And I would like to connect another point. Somebody, I think Chef Sundar was asking about should we rethink about the ISO 2024 or whatever ISO standard that we had previously? Nothing like that, actually. The existing ISO, everything is perfect. Only thing we need to add this infection related chapter into it, or we need to have an extra precaution of maybe having a mask, or trying to keep our surrounding more away from this kind of situation. I think the existing ISO and HACCP standards are pitch perfect.
Bala?
Yep.
Yeah, and one more thing, as Mr. Reddy is going to speak, I would request Aishwarya to be ready because she had a question about a new startup. Yeah, over to Reddy, Mr. Reddy.
Yeah, Bala, when we talk about hygiene and standards, first of all, I think I should request all hotel owners to first understand what FSSAI is. I request all of you all to first download the whole thing, read it, and there are a lot of things which can be done. It's not so difficult actually, because a lot of people think that it is not possible. It is very possible. So one. Second thing is, it is very easy for any small owner to first formulate what can be done. First, let us do what can be done. We'll talk about what cannot be done and what has to be done at a much later phase. First, let us assume what can be done. Can you clean the kitchen every day night? Yes, it is possible. So why not we do that? Can you have a storeroom which is clean and dry? Yes, it is possible. Can you clean vegetables before you take in? Yes, it is possible. So what is possible, you list down. What you think is not possible, let us start looking at it at a later date. A lot of people look at the whole picture and they give up saying we don't want to do it. The don't want to do it is not an option today. What can be done, let us start. The minute we start, then we understand that it's very easy to do. If the FSSAI says that an expiry product should not be kept in the storeroom, how difficult is it? It is very difficult. Is it? No, it is not. Only thing is you need to check, you need to train your storekeeper to put the product on the expiry date basis. If some product is about to get expired, he needs to make sure that he gets rid of it as a priority. Or if it is already expired, he needs to make an entry and throw that product, not try to pass it off. This is where owners come into picture. This is where each and every individual owner can and should spend time on. It will help us. FSSAI is very well framed. It is possible. I am telling you it is possible because we are implementing it in most of the places that we are doing.
Super. Thank you, Mr. Reddy. We have Ms. Aishwarya. Aishwarya, over to you for the question.
Thank you, Balaji. Sir, I have a question that will relate to both Chef Bala and Reddy sir as well. My question is, do you think this is, to start a food business in a hotel or to start a kitchen as well, any time is the right time. But given the COVID situation, do you think a person like me who has no experience at all in food industry to start a, single menu based kitchen and cater it in kiosks or a takeaway stall instead of a dine-in? Is this the right time to do that, or I should wait for a little long to come into the business?
See,
thanks, Aishwarya, for the question. Yeah, Chef Bala started answering. Probably Mr. Reddy will follow after that.
Yeah, actually, it is always there is a saying that when the stock market falls, we should buy more stocks because there is the food industry will there is a no ending for food industry. It will grow on forever and it will stay on forever. There is a situation now. There is a positive plus and minus. There is a cold-hearted and warm-hearted in the same time. When I'm saying this, there is a lot of food business that is existing, which is very weak and very bad in their systems, will fade away at this point of time. And there will be new food business that will come in with a brighter face or better systems in place so that they will sustain for the next era. Maybe the next generation of food industry will be born at this point of time. And already I am connected with a lot of people who are trying to create new food business. And another thing, no food owners none of the, or I could say most of the food owners, food business owners, they are not from a catering background. They started fresh. So it is nothing like that, like you should go into catering or complete your degree and then come into the industry, or you should transfer your existing business into the new generation of food business. It is okay to start fresh. There is a new beginning for everything, and only the planning has to be very perfect, and the transition of your project with a good map, with a good accounts and good SOPs in place, you can create a wonderful food business. And back end module, like as you said, is a good start because we don't have to worry about the front end module, because now maybe the front end module may be a little lag for a small set of time, but it will pick up eventually in a very quick time frame. I think it's a good time to start. That is what I would conclude to say.
Thank you.
One last question. This is thank you, Aishwarya, and thank you, Chef. And Mr. Reddy would like to add something in this.
Yeah, it is never late. I always say, any business, if you have the idea, you have the passion, and you have the willingness to do, and the risk. Every business has the risk. Every business needs passion. Every business needs to be understood. So it's never late. There is nothing right time at all. It is about how you look at your business. You please, but before you start, please do your homework well. Please make sure that you understand what you're going to do. Please make sure that you understand your capital requirement for it. Please also understand what is this business about. Spend more time in trying to understand what you want to do, and start with a pessimistic mindset that it will not do well, and then start. Don't think that you're going to do wonder. Think that you're not going to do well, and look at how you can start that not doing well into a well thing. A lot of owners come to me and say, sir, you are making so much profit out of idli. Fine. If I make idli in the house, it's very simple. My wife is going to do the batter and she's going to cook. So there's no cost factor involved. It's only the batter. But if I'm going to do it in a hotel, probably 20 people are involved in making that idli. And each and every person has got a cost factor for which I have to spend money. So my idli made in the house, even if it is probably 3 rupees, the same idli cannot be produced in a hotel for even 30 rupees. So please understand, costing is very important at all factors before you start your business. Passion is fine. Everything is fine. Don't think that I'm talking negatively. No, I'm not talking negatively. I always start any business with a negative set mind so that I'm very cautious, so that I don't fail. None of my projects have failed so far because of this one single approach.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Reddy. In fact, I have also experienced moving with Mr. Reddy for the last 22 years. Whenever a couple of our clients whom we sent also, he has always said, like, don't start, as he started his speech, don't start the business. And in spite of that, people are more interested, perseverant. That's when he really takes up his clients, and he's very choosy about it. That is also one of the main reasons for his projects being very successful. Thank you, Mr. Reddy.
Thank you.
And we have a question for Chef Bala. One question is from the kitchen equipment manufacturer side. What they're saying is, Mr. Ranjit is asked, this is from kitchen equipment manufacturer's perspective. New hotels or investing on existing hotels or restaurants is going to quite be far off. It's in the existing situation. What would you suggest to sustain that particular business? What is your advice to the kitchen equipment manufacturers? Because there's quite hundreds of them in Chennai itself, and all around the world, country, there are quite few of them, hundreds of them. What is your advice to them?
I would say, honestly, definitely in every sector of our food business, that includes the vendor, that includes the manufacturer of food business equipments, it is going to be a flourishing days that is going to come. Very simple as that. Let us take a small sector of our food industry, the industrial kitchens. Now, a lot of companies might be closing in China and they will be opening in India. Now, there is a possibility of opening a lot of industries, new industries in India. Immaterial of any situation, industrial kitchens are going to get opened in various sectors in and around major cities of India. And the same way, institutional kitchens, when it comes to education, there is no stop in that. Everybody is going to flourish and the knowledge is going to grow. The institutional kitchens are going to go and open. On the other hand, so manufacturing will happen for these sectors. On the other hand, as of now, those unstable business, food business, which was on the verge of suffering and which was badly planned, they will disappear as of now. So, and there will be a new sector of well-planned business with all factors that considering the hygiene standard, all those arithmetics of the business and future-friendly business and all this what we talk about new normal and things like that. All these factors will be considered, and new restaurants, takeaways, kitchens, and things will be coming into place. So honestly, there will be flourishing turnover in all sector of food business, whether it is a vendor, when it comes to a supply chain, or when it comes to a manufacturer, from the farmer to an equipment manufacturer to a new business owner. Definitely people will be interested to invest in the food business. If you see, even during the lockdown, the food was one factor that was moving around all the cities all over the world, which never stopped. When we talk about the basic elements of human requirement, food, cloth, and shelter, food was moving all around. It never stopped. From the farmer to the end user or the consumer or the household people, people want food. That will never stop. Naturally, down the line, when a set business, badly planned food business are gone, there has to be something that has to be replaced with either existing chain of restaurants will be connected or a new business will come up with situations like this. And as we speak, as a consultant, a lot of my existing clients, they are starting their kitchen projects as we speak, because it is more easier for them to start their kitchen projects as of now, because they have surplus manpower who are involved in the project, surplus contractors who are very free at this moment, and they are trying to give the business to them. And once the projects are starting now, in about 6 months or 8 months, or depending on the magnitude of the project, it will end, and that time we will have our opening there, definitely. So that time, I think it is more easier to flourish.
And I'll also like to add simple things like now there are a lot of equipment which are probably needed. You need hands-free washing equipment. You need so many other new equipment which probably have to be looked at too. Every existing place needs something different now. It's not that you're going to do still tables and pieces of equipment which are redundant. Now is the time when you have to think radically. Every single kitchen manufacturer now has to look at other things also. He also needs to look at what are the sanitizing things that need to be done. He needs to look at how vegetable washing machines can be done. He needs to look at how you need to have isolation rooms. He needs to look at how ultraviolet equipment can be manufactured. So it's an exciting time. It's not that it's not going to happen. It's now you have to keep your eyes, ears, everything open to understand what are the new things that need to be done. Don't look at anything that is already there. Look at what are the new things that can be done. The requirement is always there for anything new. Probably a lot of things might phase out. Probably a lot of equipment might become redundant. You might start having to do new projects with the new concepts and things. Ultraviolet rays is going to be a requirement henceforth. So how can you manufacture ultraviolet equipment to safeguard things? Every hotel will need it. So look at what can be done rather than looking at what we cannot do. Cannot do, don't worry. It's all in the past. Don't look at your back. Look in the front. You're racing a car, don't look at the back. Look in the front. You're going to win.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Balaji.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reddy. Over to Mr. Shankar for the concluding remarks and the vote of thanks.
Excellent presentation. I would like to thank Chef Bala and of course Mr. Venkateshwara Reddy for the wonderful, I would like to say, because normally when both of them are from the food industry, we know them for so many years, they have been very, very cautious in advising to people, for entrepreneurs who come to the field. That is one of the speciality of them. And finally, at this time, I'm really surprised to see the optimism in them. You know, that is a real, I would say, the real leaders who can really guide this industry. We need such people actually at this very crucial time. Hats off to you, both of you, sir. Really, I'm really appreciating you on behalf of the Prego team, because you people are really have to guide the industry today. You people are the real stalwarts of the industry, because the owners of the industry, the new entrepreneurs, are really in a very big shock. They are really looking out for a better solution. And as Mr. Balaji was telling us, like when somebody comes to you to start an industry, we always were telling them to be pessimistic, always have that approach. But now you people are telling you have to be optimistic. That shows the real, the what fitting method, how you have to gear up yourself, jump out of all your coziness, and now face the world with full of energy. This industry is a God sent one. We are all blessed to be in this food industry, because it's more like Anna Lakshmi, we say this. So we are really thankful to Chef Bala and to Mr. Venkatesh Reddy, both of them stalwarts of our industry, and of course to our very good family friend Mr. Divakar from the Venus Kitchen Equipment, who are all pioneers in this field, and to his father also, and all Prego team who have taken real participation. This knowledge series has been happening every day now, and we are bringing people from different industry sectors to give a knowledge about how we can face this wonderful situation. And the other important point is, this is, if somebody has missed this or any further questions, it is always online. This is going online in Facebook, and we have a Prego YouTube channel, which will update you all the latest information, whatever is happening. Again, on behalf of the Prego team, I extend my warm thanks and regards to both the speakers of the day today, and hope to see you soon, sir, in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much. Yeah, very nice.
All the best, guys. Fear is not required.
Thank